Tonight is people been asking me about this broadcast a lot. I decided to do it because it was in demand. A lot of people wanted to know about the diet. They would always ask us in the state of mental, what is the diet of a mentalist? Right? What is a good diet for black people? See, we've been being conditioned, and it's been the new thing lately to get black people involved in the vegetarian diets and the vegan diets and, all the things that people tell us are good for us, for our body makeup and our chemistry, right? We have a lot of people telling us about the, the beans and the carrots and saying meat is bad for us, right? And I agree to some extent. I agree. You watch the eating habits of a people. You watch and you observe and you see what's good for them and you see what's bad for them. You see how their body chemistry and makeup is and you observe that. You pay attention to it, right? People say that, the vegetarian diet is the best thing or the vegan diet is the best thing, and that's played up a lot. Like I said, in the society, the biggest people who are pushing that message are your PETA people. For those of you who don't know who PETA is, that's your people for the ethical treatment of animals. That's the group that is against any forms of animal cruelty. They're big on the vegan, the vegan and vegetarian diet. Right, and a lot of our people follow that out. One of the first people who was pushing, that I can remember as far back, pushing the vegetarian or the vegan diet, or what I say the vegetarian diet, was Dick Gregory, right? Dick Gregory. He was pushing back in the 80s the Bahamian shakes, right? And being more fruits and vegetables and no more meat, right? And fast forward to now, Dick Gregory has cancer, right? And the Dr. Sebi, who I tend to look to a lot and I look up to for the diet and designing the diet for our people, the carbon-based people, he pointed out one of the key things in Dick Gregory's diet. And a lot of the so-called naturalists and the dietitians and the people who are swearing on the vegan and vegetarian diet. He pointed to the fact that Dick Gregory had soy. Soy was one of the key products in his Bahamian drink. Soy is poison. A lot of your vegetarians and vegans, they eat soy. Tofu, right, which is the base of tofu is soy. Most of the products that these vegan companies the miso and all these other things have soy in it. The fake vegetarian meat has soy at the base, right? And people are consuming these things. You have people eating burgers or the veggie burgers, and soy is at the heart of these so-called garden burgers, right? They tell you, you could have the taste or have the feel of eating a burger without actually having to eat the meat, right? But soy is a key diet in a lot of these things. Sometimes they put soy in these products, these food products, right? And they use other names. But you'll always see soy. It'll end up, you look it up, you'll see soy as the base. And they're just finding out now, and it's not so even recent that they found this out, that soy creates tumors in the body. Sister that I know of, she was consuming soy. She had tumors in her body, and cancerous. Some of them were malignant. Some were, most of them were malignant anyway. I don't think any of it was really cancerous, but they can turn cancerous. That had to do a lot with the soy that she was consuming as being a vegetarian or a so-called vegan. Had a lot to do with that. Her consuming the soy creates tumors in the body. Dr. Sebi and his wife, who were, going into the removing of the tumors from the body with the alkaline diet and, certain herbs that he put together, he said the hardest tumors to remove are those that are produced by soy, as opposed to those who are produced by meat. Right? He said that's the hardest ones to remove. The vegetarians and the vegans, the people that push the vegetarian diet and the vegan diet, like I said, your PETA, and basically your Europeans, your white people, they push the vegan and vegetarian diets. And, a lot of your black followers, your black Caucasians, as we call them, they tend to want to follow that because a lot of you'll check it out, a lot of your black vegetarians and vegans tend to have a Caucasian kind of mindset when it comes to, things the white man says is good for our people, because they have this mentality that we're all the same on the inside and the outside, which is not true. It's just not true. You can see on the outside that we look different from them, so obviously our physical makeup is different. Right? People don't understand that when the PETA people and all those people that are pushing the vegan and vegetarian diet, they're not pushing that diet because they care so much about your health, right? Because these are the people that came up with the vegan and vegetarian thing. I'm not being racist when I say this. Your white people push that. Some of your Asians and things like that. These are the people who love or have an affinity for animals, which is why they push the vegetarian and vegan diet, so that you're not eating and consuming the animals, right? It's not because they care so much about the diet, right? They have an affinity or a connection toward animals. Now, I'm not saying we're supposed to be consuming animals. No, we're not supposed to be consuming animals. We're actually supposed to be consuming reptilians. Now, I know that sounds funny when I say that, reptiles. I don't mean lizards, and I don't mean, crocodiles and things like that. I'm talking about the offspring of reptiles, which are your birds and your fish. Your fish are reptiles. Your birds are reptiles. Certain birds and certain fish, yeah, we can consume. Reason being is because they're small. They're not animals. Animals and reptiles are two different species. Right? Animals and reptiles are two different species. The makeup or the genetic makeup of your animal to your reptile is different. We're supposed to be eating water reptiles, or fish as you call them, and birds that fly in the air, birds that move through the air. Because the base, the foundation of us is reptilian, the so-called black man and black woman. No, we didn't come from the hybrid animals that came out of the water and things like that. We came from the actual reptilian DNA, which is why I said our people flake, why we have things like eczema and we have dry skin, because it's actually skin that we're shedding. Why we carry certain traits, right? Like to consume birds and fish. Your white people, they're the ones who consume, and your human race, I'm not just going to say your white people, they tend to consume beef, pork, lamb, right? They consume land animals. And when we went into bondage to these people, when we went under religion with these people, they got us to consume these very same things. Beef, especially pork, lamb, which are all hybrid animals. Your cow is a hybrid animal of your ox and your buffalo. Right? It's a hybrid animal. It's not even a natural animal. Right? It's hybrid. Your pig, that they said, the old Nation of Islam used to say the cat, rat, and the dog, and the crossbreeding of the cat, rat, and the dog, which got your wild boar. A lot of your earth animals are not naturally bred. Now, I know it sounds crazy, but they've been doing crossbreeding with animals for thousands of years. Our ancient ancestors did it. The white man does it. Right? He also crossbred vegetables. A lot of your vegetables that you see, a lot of the beans and the things that you're eating and consuming are hybrids. They're not even natural vegetables. They're not supposed to be eaten by us. A lot of the biggest things in your vegetarian diet, things like beets and carrots, things like these are all hybrids. acidic hybrids, right? They're not alkaline, natural plant life, right? These are the things that your vegetarians and vegans eat. They're telling you to eat artificial plant life. And there's a reason for that, more than just saving the animal life or worrying about your diet. There's a bigger picture involved in this. We're going to go into that deeply tonight. I am the intellectual Amir Nubin Menkares, and this is State of Mental Radio. And tonight we're talking about, should black people be vegans and vegetarians? There has never been a time, and, you know, Dr. Sebi said this, and I agree with him on everything except this, where he said our people were originally in Africa vegetarians, and that's not true. That's not true. Our people, North American, the black people here, the O blood type people, right, which is the majority of your black people here, O positive or O negative or O positive blood type, we were eating, from the ancient world, we were eating fish. You go look in the walls of Egypt, which is where our people come from, and in the Middle East, what they call the Middle East, which is north of Africa, our people were eating certain staple foods all the time, and that was onions, fish, birds, greens. I'm going to say it again. Onions, greens, birds, and fish. That was our diet. That was our diet. We didn't eat any carrots and corn and beets and all that nonsense. We didn't eat that. Those are hybrid foods. We didn't eat all kinds of starch, right? Like your vegetarians are big on eating a lot of rice and starch. We didn't eat all that, right? That was a trait of the Africans, right, which were our cousins or our neighbors to the north, or going toward the south, I should say. They ate that diet. They ate the heavy land animals like your beef and your pork. We didn't eat that. You had certain people try to bring that in to the ancient worlds in Egypt and whatnot, but we didn't eat that diet. You notice even today, it's easier to get black people to cut away from eating beef and pork, right? But it's hard to get black people to stop eating chicken and fish. Why is that? Because these things are natural to us. These things are natural to our diet. Now, people are arguing and say, oh, you know, it's a health issue with the chicken and the fish and whatnot. Yeah, that's because you got the wrong people raising your food. Your fish and your birds were put here to eat, to be consumed. They are reptiles that were put here to be consumed by people, our people, right? It took skill or intelligence to catch them. That's how you know they're supposed to be a brain food or part of a person's diet who is thinking, because it takes skill or intelligence to catch them. You have to fish for them, right? You have to corner birds, right? Land animals we're not supposed to be eating. Biggest reason is because they're too heavy to consume. The land animals that they told us to eat in the society, when you have in your soul food dinners and things like that with your pig and your cow and your beef and all this other stuff, your beef ribs and all this nonsense that you eat, that's animal food. That's food for other animals to tear apart. That's food when you're eating cows and pigs and all this stuff that come out of the wild boar and these hybrid animals. That was to feed the other animals, your lions and your tigers and all this other stuff. That was to feed them. Your jackals, that's food for them. When you eating the so-called corn and what else? The corn and the carrots and things like that, you eating rodent food. That's for rabbits. A lot of the food they're giving you in the diet is to feed animals. That's not for our consumption. Our diet was simple. Right? They'll say, oh, you know, you're talking about eating, how can it be that you're talking about eating animals and whatnot? And that's not right, because, you know, they have a life too if you're looking at it from the so-called humanistic mindset. Right? But what they don't understand is that the people that say this or come with this argument is that your Monsanto, which is the ones who are raising these hybrid vegetables and things like these genetically modified vegetables, right? They're using animal DNA and making these vegetables. They're using animal genetics to make these vegetables. So And when you're eating your beans and your bean sprouts and all this other stuff, and your hybrid starches and your hybrid carrots and beets and corn and all this nonsense, you're eating vegetables, artificial vegetables that were stimulated by animal hormones, right? They use animal DNA in making these foods that you're eating as a vegan or a vegetarian, right? Notice something with the vegetarians also. I've never seen a vegetarian, not too many vegetarians, who didn't either smoke or drink or get high. That's rare that I ever see somebody just eat vegan and don't smoke, don't drink, get high. There's a reason for that. Same reason why when these people got into the so-called vegan and vegetarian diet, they had to make and take the tofu and make burgers out of them, because you naturally crave some sort of meat or protein substance. You naturally crave it. And it cannot be taken up by way of these forced together or meshed together starches as protein. They can't be meshed together that way. Right? You actually need pure, real reptile flesh. Your birds and your fish, they satisfied as your protein. They satisfied as that which would go in your stomach and that your digestive system needed to churn and burn away. That acidic lining in your stomach misses that when you take it out of your diet. The acidic count in your stomach, it misses that. Because if you're going through a life and you're eating these the birds and the fish and things like that, the minute you take it out of your diet, your body was set to digest that. So now you changed what you're putting into your stomach, right? You consume these things. Like I said, it's hard for our people to cut away from these things for a reason. You even got the tofu chicken. Y'all try to make all kind of substitute things for what you naturally want. You try to make all sorts of artificial things for what you naturally want, right? You sitting around here telling me you're going to munch on cauliflower, which is artificial. You're going to munch on carrots. Some of you Negroes even went as far as to eat talking about eating a fruit diet. And fruit is full of sugar, starch. You went as far as to talk about you a fruitarian now, right? How funny is that? Who taught our people this to go into these diets, right? Who are the dietitians that are diagnosing these diets for us? Like I said, when we were in the South, when we came here off of the slave ships, and some of our people were already here, we started eating the diet. The white man them tried to dictate the diet for us to eat as soon as we got here. Pork, which wasn't really in our diet. We didn't eat pork. Beef. Was it the black-eyed peas? You know, the stuff y'all made into soul food later. You know, just the junk they are cobbled together. So it continues to this day where they got us eating so-called garbage, a.k.a. soul food, to now they telling us to eat vegan diets now and vegetarian diets. All the things that are foreign to our diet. Look at a lot of your vegans and your vegetarians, right? Look at a lot of your vegans and vegetarians with the starches and things like that, and they'll tell you that they're healthy. They'll tell you that they are good or that they're in shape, but you're eating artificial foods. You're eating foods that have growth hormones of animals in them. These are not naturally seeded plant life in the earth. It's not naturally seeded. Because what you don't understand is the true naturally seeded plant life comes from your reptiles. Comes from your reptiles. The ones who went into the earth, the ones who died off, the ones whose DNA went into the earth to bring out new plant life, your fossil fuel, that was an output. When you have fertilization or fertilizer, what is fertilizer made out of? Animal, you know what? Animal dung. Manure, which causes growth, right? So the same genetic DNA that they put into breeding artificial foods is the same natural DNA that went into breeding natural foods, which were your greens. right? Your collaloos, your kales, your mustard greens, things like that, right? Could that be why they carry a green color, a greenish dark color to them? Yeah. Not going to tell you that, but that's your natural plant life. That's what we ate. That was your iron, because that is a rich source of iron, right? A rich source of iron that is crossbred or going into carbonated people, your so-called quote-unquote black people. And what does that produce? When they tell you iron and carbon together produces what? The artificial element of steel, which is a strong metallic form or frame. It makes our people stronger, right? When we eat the greens, because that's all we ate when we were in the South. That's when our people got away. Like, we ate the watermelon, we ate the pork and stuff like that, because we got used to that. But majority of what we ate was greens, chicken, and when we fished. Was not our people a lot more healthier and stronger and more robust then? I mean, of course, they was eating poison back then as well, right? They was eating poison back then as well. But a lot of our people were more in a healthier state. They were in a healthier state. They would work harder, work longer. They were strong because of the greens. Now you look at these so-called vegans today who eating all this artificial food, carrots, beets, cabbage, what else? Cauliflower, beans, all kind of hybrid beans, right? And they don't look so good. Matter of fact, majority of them had this melancholy mindset with them, right? They have this melancholy mindset with them, like all the energy and all the power is out of these people. Don't be fooled by these people that lift weights. These Negroes is lifting weights and stuff like that, and they talking about they just so robust because of the vegan and vegetarian diet. Because there's always the same person who told us that vegan and vegetarian was good for us, right? They were going based on their own body chemistry and makeup. They wasn't talking about us. Whenever they tell you that something's good for the human race to eat or consume, they're not talking about us. They're not talking about black people. They're not talking about us, right? They're talking about themselves. They're talking about your white man, your East Indian, and your Asian. That's good for them to eat. These are the people, your East Indians, your original. They're really your original. They started with the vegan diet or the vegetarian diets because these are the people who going around talking about sacred cows in their country where they wouldn't eat beef. They got a bunch of cows walking around. They'll starve rather than eat a cow. So these were the people that started to wean themselves off animals anyway. And now it's made itself into their so-called spiritual practices where they don't eat animals. And a lot of black people that sat amongst them, they copied that mentality and that mindset. And they talk about, oh, well, we should be vegetarians and vegans too. But if you're eating out of the same poison pot, what difference do it make? You don't eat beef. You don't eat pork. Put the carrots and the the cabbage and all that other stuff is just as bad, and the beets, right? It's just as bad. You eating soy and tofu. You trying to supplement your diet for something else, something that you feel you're missing, something that you're craving, right? I remember when a lot of our people stopped eating, like I said, they stopped eating the meat and stuff. Like I said, we're not advocating the eating of meat here, right? We're not advocating that. We told our people to stick to the staple foods. Stick to the birds and the fish, right? Stick to the birds and the fish, the things that are easily digestible. Even ridding yourself somewhat of the chicken, you should eat turkey more. Ostrich, though it's closest to the reptile. You look at your ostrich, that's considered a delicacy. Your ostrich tastes like chicken. Very rich in protein, right? Very rich in protein. Your fish. Dr. Sebi, he said he was all for the alkaline diet, but then he talked about eating a piece of fish. So fish is not too far from the bird. It's pretty much the same thing. Fish and birds are the same thing, same reptile. He talked about getting a piece of fish. So his wife wanted to eat a piece of fish, and now they're both dietitians. And they've cured people. So if he's talking about the certain salmon and certain forget what the other fish he said. Not saying all fish are for consumption. Definitely no catfish and no tuna, you know. But he talked about the salmon and certain whiting, right, to eat. Because that's what we were always doing. You could look on in the walls in ancient Egypt and all of the Middle East. That's what the Red Sea and all these places were there. That's all we did was fish. We ate the fish. We ate the birds. That was our diet. We have an affinity for these things. It's hard for our people to cut away from it. Obviously, it's a genetic thing. Obviously. But like I said, the majority of the people who pushing the so-called diet, the so-called vegetarian and vegan diet, look at them and talk to them next time. See if they have that mentality of the white man, the mentality, the same mindset, the same type of people. See that they eat the same diet when they can't really tell you why this stuff is healthy for you, because truth be told, most of the vegetables you eaten have no nutritional value whatsoever. Corn has no nutritional value, yet the vegetarians eat corn. That's why if you notice when you eat corn, when it comes out and when you defecate and it comes out, it's still whole. The corn is still whole. It doesn't break down. It's not digested because it's not meant for you to digest. It's an artificial food. It's not supposed to look the same as when you put it in your mouth. Right? They have no nutritional value whatsoever. A good 80 to 90% of the vegetables you eat have no nutritional value whatsoever. Yet they could get you to make smoothies and all this other stuff out of it and eat fruit and stuff like that. That's a monkey diet. That's a goddamn monkey diet. That's really what they're pushing to you, a monkey diet. Who eats vegetables and fruit all the time? Monkeys. They're pushing a monkey diet to you. Right? But then the white man is gradually, if you notice, right? If you notice, collard greens are kind of acidic. Let me just say, collard greens are kind of acidic. Turnip greens are good, right? So, but they're pushing, snap is good too, but they're pushing a monkey diet to you. That's really what that translates into, right? But if you notice, the white man, he does something now. He's starting to get out of the vegetarian thing gradually, and he's calling himself a pescatarian, meaning he eats fish now. But he's still pushing this monkey diet on y'all. You know, all kind of vegetables and all kind of artificial vegetables. He's pushing that on you. Why is that? Why is he pushing that diet on you? Why is he pushing the these artificial vegetables on you? To counter the mindset of a natural people, right? To counter the mindset of a natural people, because they always utilize our people as the testing ground for anything. You give people unnatural food, you give people artificial food, what happens? They lose their mental connection, their natural mental connection with the earth and above and beyond the earth if they're not eating natural things. They start to develop an artificial mentality. What do I mean by that? If you notice, when our people were eating the greens and eating more of a healthier diet in the South, I'm not talking about them Negroes. I know, like I said, they was drinking the corn liquor, and they poisoned themselves a little bit. But a lot of our people was eating kind of healthy, you know, even though they didn't have much knowledge. If they was eating greens and they was eating the fish and things like that, you know what they were breeding out there, they had a more of a common sense form of intelligence. When they were in the South and in the West Indies eating certain diets with the greens and things like that, right? They had more of a common sense mentality. Now I want you to look at the people who eat these artificial, these people who are vegans, who are eating the cauliflower and the broccoli and the cauliflower and the carrots and the beets. Aren't they real flighty, if you notice that? They real flaky. I mean, check this out. They got more of an artificial, philosophical mindset like the white man now. I mean, pay attention to that. You mean to tell me you really think that has something to do with the food, right? We went from a common sense people, because food, like I said, there's a reason why they call food brain food. There's a reason why they call it thinking food, because certain foods that you eat can shape your mental, can shape your mind, whether it's thinking on a logical scale or on a illogical scale or on a philosophical mindset. Look at your vegetarians and vegans. A lot of them are very flighty. A lot of them are very philosophical. A lot of them are very illogical in their way of thinking. Very theoretical people. No common sense there. Right? There's a reason, like I said, why we consume birds and fish. There's a reason why we consume those reptilians. Every part of our diet comes from the reptile. Every part of it, from the greens to the fish to the birds, is all reptile components, bred by the reptiles, because we're reptile people. We're not animals like the humans. The humans have an affinity toward the animals. We don't. They're the same people that'll get mad when they see some dog fighting going on, throw Michael Vick in jail. The same people that tell you don't eat animals because they have an affinity toward them. They want to live with the animals, take care of the animals. They want to be with them. They have an affinity because your scientists say your humans are a form of animal. Okay? They are a form of animal. It's in their mindset. It's in their mentality. These diets that we've been taught to follow are not going to benefit us in the future. It's not going to benefit us in the long run. It's not. Right? It's not going to benefit us because, number one, they're coming from an artificial makeup or hybrid makeup, right? And what is anything artificial does? It has a short lifespan. Dr. Sebi was one of the first people to say that anything that's alkaline, because all artificial products, right, have a acidic base to them, right? And being that they have an acidic base to them, they have a short lifespan. They try to expand their lifespan, but they have a acidic base to them. What do? They eventually shorten your lifespan. If you put in artificial things in your body, it's the same way when you go to Burger King or McDonald's and you eat that garbage that they call meat, or you eat that bread that they call meat. That's artificial too. What does it do? It eventually shortens your lifespan because you're not eating natural things. You're not eating things that were bred in the ground and grew out of the ground naturally, without the hand of man touching them. You had this guy, Gregor Mendel, right, Mendel, who bred a lot of vegetables, a lot of hybrid vegetables that you're eating today in your vegan and vegetarian diet. They're hybrids, right? He bred those, a man. So now these supreme beings that killed off your reptilians, your dinosaurs that walk the earth, in order for their DNA to go into the ground to fertilize the planet, to grow the greens that are coming up out of the earth, like your alkaline collard greens and your alkaline turnip greens and your callaloo and your mustard greens. These animals, or these, I say, reptilians, that they wanted our people to feast or eat from their remains, so that we can continue on as a stronger people, because we carry a lot of their DNA in us, is being cut short. Now we're allowing mankind to tell us what to eat. Because trust me, no black man came up with that. No black man came up with this mindset that we're supposed to be vegetarians. That's strictly from a white person or an East Indian or somebody. The same people that sit around here in ashrams and trying to be spiritual and doing, basically following the white man and other races. So they followed him. They just followed him out in diet. Right? They just followed out his diet. Right? A lot of them, like I said, a lot of them carry the genetics of these people, because a lot of our people have been mixed down. So they feel like they have a connection to those diets. But the majority of our people who still maintain their natural connection, they don't have they don't feel a way to follow those diets. Like I said, the majority of our people, like I said, we don't have a problem giving up beef and pork and all the land animals, because if you look at a lot of these old Negroes down south, the ones who's eating the beef and the pork, notice how slow they move. The old timers. Notice the pig feet and the cow, all slow moving animals. Notice how slow the older black people got down south. Notice how slow they talk. Right? Notice how slow they talk. Right? Notice how slow their speech get. Notice how convoluted their thoughts are, and they move it slow, and they got high blood pressure. Now, these are the people who told you it was okay. They threw us basically slop to eat, even though their diet wasn't that much better, but they threw us slop and garbage to eat, right? Pig and beef and all this other stuff. Now our people followed out, and like I said, they got heart problems. They got high blood pressure. They eating the damn soul food, collard greens, and the collards, like I said, they're very acidic, but they have an alkalinity to them, but they're somewhat acidic as well. Your sweet potato, which is a starch, it's also, your sweet potato is a hybrid. Potatoes that you eat, the white potatoes, which comes out of a red potato, right? It's a hybrid. These are the things we eat. You notice, and the black people eating the potato salad. These are all the things that we eat, which are hybrids. I'm going to take a call. 404. 404, you're on the air. 404. 404, you're on the air. Hello, 404. I'm not hearing anything. Hold on. 404?
I'm here.
Yeah. Question?
This 13. I just want to address some of the comments that you're making. First, it's not a good thing to separate all the people because we all one.
No, we
not.
Human
race.
No, we're not. Okay, we got it.
The human race versus the insectilians, the reptilians, all that. Yeah. But you got mutated ones. How can you figure that out? You look at their eyes, they got blue eyes. But guess what? Them same ones can come back and get it right and take your place. See what you're not realizing. This is the last 7 years. Ancestors ain't playing no more. They finna leave y'all, but we don't slow everything that you put in the earth. Yeah, they got GMO, GE, which mess with the seeds now. Yeah, they do. But you also can get the same fruit, get the seed out that fruit. You know what I mean? We got the times are changing, and I do hydroponics myself. When I get done with the hydroponics, growing the stems out, guess what? I plant it right back in the Mother Earth. Guess what? The naturals, they take care of the rest of that. Put all the nutrients that it needs.
What is it that you actually planting and eating?
We doing the green vegetables. We do the vegetables and fruit. Greens and nuts. No meats at all. We definitely don't do no meats.
Nuts are acidic. They're not really for your consumption. They're too
acidic. I do the
cashew
nuts. Think about the cashew nuts. Look at the cashew nuts. Tell me it's not for me. Your brain looks just like the cashew nuts.
My brain looks like the cashew nut. Okay. All right.
Keep them in
your
house.
If that's what you see, brother, if that's what you see, that's fine, brother. Right.
What do you do?
And what do I do?
Yeah.
I eat birds. I eat birds and fish, and I eat greens.
Okay.
That's it.
Let me ask you this. Where do you get your fish from?
Where I get my fish from? We go fishing for it.
Okay. So you ever had a time you been fishing for so long you couldn't go nowhere, couldn't use the bathroom nowhere? Guess where you gonna go at? In that water. A fish is parasitic.
Or we'll go to the best place. We'll go to the best place where fish are being farm raised, and we're always out looking for the best fish and whatnot. We'll go to a farm because we, up to a certain point, we went fishing, but then we go to farm raised fish, or we'll go to a place. Usually, we'll go to where white people get their fish from because they tend to care about what they eat. Black people don't really tend to care about what they eat, so we'll go to where they get their fish from.
Okay, I want to interrupt you on something. My name is LaToya, and I am calling from Atlanta, Georgia. First off, you got to get yourself out of that mind state of calling our people black. because we're not black. When you calling them that and you telling people that they're black, you putting them in the mind state to call themselves black, so they're putting themselves in the color of lost. So therefore, you got to let them know what they really are, and that's a more or melanin rich. So if you don't tell them that, they will be confused. Secondly, you cannot eat fish. Let me finish now. Secondly, you should not eat chicken or fish because simply of the fact that chicken and that fish has a spirit or a soul, and once you kill that animal or that fish, it is now not of a spirit or a flesh. It is now a dead flesh. And when you eat that flesh and you cook it and you so-called think you're killing that blood or whatever, when it digests, it turns back into that animal blood, which mixes into your DNA, and now you have animal or fish DNA traveling through your blood, which is mutating and transforming you. So therefore, if you're a spiritual being, you should not eat thereof. It's only there
spiritual. I'm not
put on earth for us to eat.
Well, I'm not a spiritual being, number one. I'm a solar being. And that whole spirituality mindset. Well, let me finish. Now I'll let you go and hold on a minute. I'll let you do your little diatribe about the Moorish thing, and that's fine. That's your belief. Okay? As far as black people go, I only utilize that terminology because so-called quote-unquote black people, that's what they know and that's what they understand. The Moorish thing and whatnot, that's part of a doctrine or a belief that you have. Okay? Now, let me finish. Now, as far as the digesting of the soul of the animal, yeah, we're supposed to digest the souls of those so-called reptiles. They're not animals; they're reptiles. Right? We're supposed to digest their souls because, like I said, we have reptile in us. We shed skin. We flake. Okay, we have the DNA of reptiles in us already. And a lot of your plant life was bred by the fertilization of those animals. So whatever vegetables you claim you eat and that you don't think have no connection with animals, they actually do, because your vegetables are fertilized by some form of animal DNA.
Can I cut you off?
Go ahead.
Secondly, the Moorish thing, that is not a belief. That is simply a birthright. Simply, that's it. And as far as the telling people the black thing, because that's simply what they understand, the simple thing is they understand because they can't overstand, because a person like you is not giving them the sense to understand or overstand something. If you need the people to understand what they really are, you have to simply tell them. But keep feeding them this black nonsense is keeping our people down. So if you don't tell them the whole truth, then therefore our people will stay lacking the knowledge and perish for lack of thereof. So therefore, if you can't help our people 100%, you shouldn't even do it 50% of the way. You got to give them
Okay, well, hold on. First of all, again, that teaching of the Moorish rites and all that comes from Noble Drew Ali, all right? And the whole Bay thing, like I said, wasn't going to get – this is a diet night. I'm not getting into doctrines and things like that. I'll do a show on the Moorish thing in a minute, and I'll answer about that. But that whole Bay thing and the Moorish thing, that comes from the Turkish Empire, from the Beyliks. But we could go there. Okay, but that, like I said, Bay, y'all all linked up to Islam in some way, shape, or form.
I'm not a Bay. I'm an L.
Okay, but that's so y'all all still linked up to Islam. So the main fact that you still linked up to Islam, right, with the Arabs, that already disregards everything you just said, because that's a religion, and that is based in spirituality. We're not dealing with spirituality here. We're dealing with soul people. And no, I don't teach my people. I only teach that the reason why they're referred to as black people by the white man, why they were called that, is because black was supposed to denote that they were ignorant people who did not know who they were. We refer to our people, the intelligent ones of our people, as solar intelligent or bright race people who are of the light. We don't define We don't define ourselves by any color, because there is no such thing as black people. I said they refer to our people as black because it was talking about a state of mind, because they say that darkness does not have light within it, right? They said that darkness or blackness is absence of light, meaning intelligence. That was their way of calling our people ignorant. That's why they refer to us as black people. And I explained that in what we're teaching in the knowledge of intellect. I explained that.
Okay. Well, let me say this right here, and I'm going to be done. People, grab you an etymology book, study your words, and any information you hear from anybody, take it, listen to it, and counter-reference it and research it for yourself and get other lack of knowledge. Don't get the lack, just get the whole knowledge. So therefore, don't listen to just one person. Get second opinions and study. You are the book of life, so therefore you look inside yourself and you will find the answers within. So therefore, get back to nature, to the Most High, and you will find everything you need. Thank you. You have a great night.
Okay. That was the Moorish diatribe. Thank you. 510. 510.
Oh, my God. Yeah, I'm here.
Exactly.
Oh, my God.
Exactly.
Man, I swear to God, man, people are really.
I'm sorry,
bud.
I know it said this was a diet show. I didn't.
It's a diet show, right?
Yeah, it's a diet show. I could have swore. I did an open mic. Did I not do an open mic where these people could have called in and did all that on Wednesday? I stopped doing it because nobody never called in. Then they want to come in with the Moorish science and all this other stuff, and we Moors and this spiritual nonsense. Like I said, all that sound good. It's talk. All right, all that sound good. Nothing on diet, and all that stuff come from the white man. All that spiritual talk, which come from where spiritus, which means breath or air. All that. We supposed to be vegetarians and vegans. All that's from the white man.
Study.
Yeah.
On,
study. Yeah,
Come
study
on,
what?
Man.
From the white man again. They going go pick up some book from some white man or some Negro that sat around here and read some book from or studied under some white man. That's what they gonna go do.
Right?
Or they're going to sit up here and talk about Noble Drew Ali, who was a Freemason, following the white man. I'm going to just say it like it is. Since you open up the can of worms, since you want to open up the can of worms and talk about, we supposed to be more, all that Moorish stuff and all that. Look, they got that from the Spanish, who was calling us, that's another word for black. All that mortos and more. Right. It's the same way these Negroes try to act like, the word Africa, the continent was called Africa, or Akibulan, that lie, that it was called Akibulan or Africa before the white Romans got together and named it like they did. Black people always making up all kind of madness.
They just love romanticism, man, for real. Hey, but you know what? Hey, man, screw them, man. Hey, I listened to what you said about, the old people, that like the old Southern people, how they start talking slow and moving slow and shit like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I always wondered why that was. You know what I'm saying?
Look at the pigs. Look at the pigs and the cows.
Every one of them.
Why.
Exactly. Every one of them had the same diet, talked the same. Well, their speech slowed down as they aged, and also all of them had the same sicknesses. So it's definitely the diet. It's definitely the diet. Yeah. Even my grandfather before he died, I knew him when I was a little boy, and he never talked like that. He talked like me. He was a street cat. But when he got old, he started talking very slow, and I'm like, what the hell? And I'm like,
he don't have so many strokes and everything else, probably little mini strokes from all that pork and those land animals he was eating that he couldn't digest. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And he died from his sickness, from his diet. They was cutting his toes and limbs and everything off till he finally passed. And he did not change his diet. He was a stubborn old man. Yeah. Just a regular Negro, I was just wondering why their speech slowed down. And it has to be the diet. Yeah. And that's a great point, man. Mm-hmm. It's a great point. Hey, man, go ahead and talk about it.
When you see, like I said,
Go ahead.
Now, when you see, like I said, look at how people eat when we eat the fish. Look when we eat the bird. We seem to be more alert, don't we? Don't those birds? If you study the movement of the fish, it's always moving fast. It's always on point. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Right? Look at the birds flying. You know what I'm saying? Flying and things like that. Like I said, they in motion, right?
Yep.
So those are reptiles in motion. We don't eat the land reptiles. We eat the air reptiles and the sea reptiles. You know what I mean? The fish and the bird, right? That's how that's what we always ate. It wasn't until these people start mixing in with us and whatnot, and they brought their cows and everything else, and that's when all that eating of the land animals came in. Because, truth be told, if you're going to eat that, which I don't suggest, but if you're going to eat the best land animal to eat if you're going to do that is buffalo. Because look, notice the buffalo is actually a natural animal. It's a natural animal. It has the fro. You know, and its pH on its milk, and its pH on its milk is very high. The pH is very, very alkaline. Dr. Sebi even said that in the milk, and I think it was the buffalo or the bison or whatnot. The milk of the bison is very high in pH and the alkalinity. But I don't consume no animal milk, because animal milk, cow milk, and all that's supposed to be for the calves. That's not supposed to be for human consumption. But the very thing that just shows you the black man and black woman. Here it is. They don't told our people to eat beef and pork and drink milk. Milk is supposed to be for a calf or a baby, a nursing calf of a cow. Yet they got you telling you to drink milk. But you're gonna listen to these very same people that tell you to be vegans and vegetarians.
Yeah. Hey, let me ask you about that too. Yeah, that's some white shit too, huh? That vegan shit. So
of course.
I know some niggas that's vegans, and they're very airheaded. They're airheaded, hippie type. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Black Caucasians.
Hey, what do you think about tofu?
All that's garbage. All that's garbage. Tofu is garbage. It's soy. Your body can't even break down soy. Your body can't break down soy.
I wonder why they had us eating that when I was Muslim, man. And they had us. Yeah. While I used to work at the bakery, we used to prepare tofu, and they told us it was good to eat. I didn't. Yeah, but it is soy. You are right.
Yeah. It puts tumors in your body.
You are right.
They also pushing this fish. I'm gonna let you know something else. They watch out for this new fish they pushing, tilapia.
Tilapia is genetically modified.
It's genetically modified fish, and it also makes men sterile.
Yeah, I know about tilapia. And you see how they pushing it? They push it into the foreign, so-called foreign countries. Even in Africa, it's a lot of tilapia out there. And they say they made it to feed. You know, because they run out of food just to feed the masses.
Yeah, that's what all this is about. Let me tell you something. Notice,
thank you.
In the so-called vegetarian vegan diet, like I said, all them vegetables that they eat, like I said, from the beets to the carrots, the broccoli, the cauliflower, all that's a bunch of hybrids, man. That's a bunch of artificial hybrids. They're giving you artificial food because, like I said, they want to produce an artificial mentality in you. And like I said, it's working on these Negroes. Look at them. They just like the white man, tattooing so it all goes. Like I said, it's all related. Don't think it's all not because people think I'm crazy in what I'm saying, but listen, it's all related. It's all
that shit
related.
Make too much sense. That shit make too much sense. You know what I'm saying? What you put in your body, it will
manifest. It will manifest.
Exactly.
It will manifest. It will change your thinking. Look, I said we just talked about your grandfather. He's eating them old Negroes eating that swine and that cow. And like I said, you see the cow moving all slow, the pig moving slow, and then after a while, you listen to them old Negroes and they almost sound like they grunt like a pig.
Yeah, it's a good show, man. It's a good show, bro. Keep going, man. I'm traveling, man. I'll speak with you soon, okay, Nuben?
Definitely.
All right.
Brother Red from California. All right. Next call, 757. 757, you're on air.
Yeah, what's going on, bro? Yeah, my comment, well, just an add-on, you know what I'm saying? When we talk about diet and so forth, one part that we kind of leave out in the big discussion, which both of us, distribute water, is the part of water that plays in our diet. A lot of people, whether they eat meat, vegan or vegetarian, really never deal with the amount of consumption of water that's needed in their system because of our 78% capacity of water in our body in order to flush out toxins and in order to process things and make things digest a lot easier. Also, just to throw in a sidebar, you know what I'm saying? I know when I started my diet, back in football, whatever, I was dealing with the Nation of Islam. was Elijah Muhammad had the book that actually changed my life. I mean, before I even came across Dr. York or whatever, which was How to Eat to Live.
Mm-hmm.
And when I started, dealing with trying my best to deal with the 1 meal a day, I'm probably now about like 1.5. I don't really eat breakfast, so a break fast, or what they call it, whatever. I kind of try to get towards the middle, the afternoon, somewhere towards the afternoon when when we start feeling that burning in our solar plexus, start to try to look towards that period of time between noon and 3 o'clock to deal with my diet. And my diet also, contains fish, fish and vegetables, and I'm definitely on top of Dr. Sebi's GMO and the genetically modified vegetables and foods and so forth. But, I just wanted to add in the fact that a lot of times when people talk about their diet, they don't talk about the water. And then even when they talk about the water that they ingest in is not the proper water that they supposed to be drinking, because they're drinking water out of the store, the Aquafina, and some of those that's containing aborted fetus, material and so forth. So even though a lot of people jump on, I'm going to eat this and I'm going to eat that right, they don't never talk about what they're going to drink right. Oh, and the other thing is, I don't know your take on this. I'm also big on different teas also, as far as dealing with the mind and dealing with the mental. I deal a lot with ginkgo, and I mean, I really have a lot of, since I've taken ginkgo, I actually really know the difference immediately. Like if I take ginkgo or so forth, the part of the ginkgo is supposed to hit off on the thalamus and the pituitary gland in the back. So again, a lot of times people that deal with their diet, a lot of people get all into the fruits and the vegetables, but never deal with the water and never deal with the herbal teas that actually enhances and regulates your biosystem. So, that was just my take on it.
Well, we constantly, because, like I said, we sell water. We sell alkaline water. We sell alkaline iced tea. We're about to come with an alkaline milk, from pumpkin seeds in a minute. And it's all under our Bright company. So we deal with beverages. So we know beverages are very important in the digestion of, of what we taking in. And we also understand that, this is, a lot of people are not taking into consideration like the teas, like you brought up the tea that we use alkaline tea herbs. We use alkaline tea herbs in our teas, and our Bright alkaline tea, and we use alkaline water. We go through a constant filtering process. We don't get our of making the best and the purest water. That's our focus in our company, is to make the purest water for people who are health conscious, truly health conscious. And you talked about that burning in the stomach and whatnot, and that fire in the stomach, and that that working digestive system. One of the things that was taken out of that, when our people are vegans and vegetarians, our body notices that protein of the fish or that meat or that chicken or whatever, as I said, we big on that. Our people was big on that. We're not too big on the beef and the pork by nature, but, like I said, it's easy for us to cut it loose. But once that's taken out of the diet, our body misses that, and we try to substitute it with something artificial. So that's what's messing up our cycle of how we lived and whatnot. Like I said, we focus heavily on that as well, and eventually we're going to have a diet book coming out that the Mentalians follow, the state of Mental, because our diet is greens, fish, and maybe bird here and there, a bird, or maybe an ostrich, or maybe a turkey. We cut away from the chicken because chicken is too overly processed, and and they, like I said, we trying to go get our birds and our fish from the best places. We don't go to any place. Right?
Yeah, and another thing, a lot of people that's in other areas, a lot of times, because the broadcast going out nationwide and so forth, and I mean, I travel back and forth. I travel back and forth to New York, from VA, majority of my life. a lot of people that live in different states, and I live in different states also, a lot of people don't have what's common in every state. I know a lot of times when I get off the China bus in New York, boom, it's 6 o'clock in the morning, they breaking up the fruit trucks and so forth. And a lot of people in other states don't experience this. It's something that is not random in every state, and we're talking about diet, and it's called farmers market. So, like I said, down here, we have something. They have what they call grocery stores. You know what I'm saying? Which is it's a small percentage of grocery stores in New York, and in the northern states. There's normally people from other countries, and they get their foods brought in to the country, and this is a discussion that people in other states got to be aware of. Like, that they don't realize that in every state, like here, we got Food Lions, we got Kroger's and Farm Freshes, and you go in and you really don't have the knowledge. You don't have the knowledge of what's being presented to you, whether or not it's GMO or it's a genetically modified, or it's been sitting in there, or they re-tagged.
Anything that's eaten in the general supermarkets is GMO. All right, that black people need, the so-called black people, our people need to get back to growing. Because see, the beautiful thing about having a short list, because we have a very short list in our diet in the state of Mentel. Like I said, we follow for the most part Dr. Sebi's diet, which is your spelt grain, your greens like your callaloo and your kale and things like that. We eat certain fish, and we eat certain, like I said, certain birds here and there. But our diet list is very short. We don't drink no milk. We don't eat, none of that nonsense. Like I said, our diet list is short. So the beautiful thing about having a very short diet list is that you can either grow or produce most of this stuff yourself. Or like I said, you ain't got a big variety. When you're dealing with the vegan and vegetarian thing, you have to go and try to supplement what it is you took out of your diet by trying to build up more things. Because if you notice, when they trying to create, say, a type of meat or some meat substitute, they got to throw more starch into it. They got to throw all these different things into and vegetables into it to try to create a meat substance or a meat-like substance to crave that hunger that you have for it. All right, so that's more things that have to go in. All right, that's more things that have to go in. Exactly.
Yeah.
There's more things to go in that try to, so that's, right there. That's causing, like I said, that's all, because you have to throw all that stuff in because it's all artificial. So you got to throw made up stuff in to try to create something real or create a base.
Yeah. Right. And you hit it on the head. A lot of people in other states, I always advise people, look for farmers markets. You know what I'm saying? Farmers markets, and definitely check out Dr. Sebi. Then on the blood type, you was hitting on earlier. I have a doctor that I deal with in this country. You know what I'm saying? Not just Dr. Sebi, and we have been discussing on a lot of shows we did. Was that the fact that because of the different blood types, you know what I'm saying, which we have to acknowledge. Like you said, O, A, B, A, they're here, right? So people, everybody, you know what I'm saying, because of your blood type, you know what I'm saying, is a potential part of your diet. You know what I'm saying? I can agree that when I did one meal a day, or not had beef or so forth, I had a lot more energy, or you cut certain things out. But you do have to research and check according to your blood type, because everything that somebody else is doing and that you see working for them, you know what I'm saying, does not fall into place with your blood type, your skin type, your certain things. So people got to realize that. Yeah, genetic makeup, and a lot of times because we see somebody that looks a certain media. That's another thing in diet. People got to be very conscientious about or observant, or about media, because things are coming in through the tube and YouTube, Facebook, and so forth on the media. You know what I'm saying? That does not particularly pertain to you all out there. Know thyself. You know what I'm saying? People need to have that knowledge of their family's bloodline. you know what I'm saying, and their genetic makeup in order to determine certain things. Still stay away from the GMOs and genetically modified stuff, but know your blood type so that you can kind of, you know, add in and see what's supposed to go into yours, because somebody that they push out there in the media that's saying eat this, drink that, that's not specifically, like you said earlier, that's for them. They don't, I ain't going to say they, we do not make commercials on the strength of our own genetic research in order to tell us, you know what I'm saying, what is beneficial from our biological makeup. You know what I'm saying? So our brothers and sisters, you know, need to, again, look at themselves and definitely, man, you know, make sure y'all drinking that water, man, regardless of what you're eating. Make sure that you got them 3 quarts a day or so forth. I talk to a lot of people, Brother Newman. A lot of people I talk to, they eat this and this and that. But, man, a lot of people tell me they go 3 or 4 days without water. And I'm like, I don't care what you eat.
Yeah, well, that's like I said, that's the wine and the fruit punch and things like that. So,
yeah,
but listen, brother,
right.
I got other people on the line. Let me get these other calls.
Got you. No doubt.
All right, thank you. All right. 347-200. You on the air?
Yes, hi. I just have I believe you addressed the question with the other person on the phone before.
Mhm. You had a question?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I believe you addressed the question before about the vegetables. So I just wanted to find out about vegetables such as kale and lettuce. I wanted to know if that was okay for us to consume.
Well, the best, the iceberg lettuce is artificial. The kale is okay, but the best green to eat is your mustard green and your callaloo. That's the best. Your collard green is too acidic. So, I mean, it's best to eat the callaloo and the kale, but try to get the really green. I forget what they call it, the really green lettuce. The darkest. What is it called? Romaine. Try to get the romaine, the darkest romaine letter you can get. The iceberg has bleach on it, so,
Okay, thank you. And one more quick question. I'm sorry. You mentioned that you go certain places to get the fish, but now I believe most places they have GMO. So that's kind of frustrating for myself and my mom when we go shopping. Do you have any? We are so scared that what I eat is really codfish or saltfish. I'm scared to eat any other type of fish because of the GMO.
Try to go to like Whole Foods. They're usually pretty good. And like I said, if you're not eating, because I don't tell people to eat fish and all this all the time. Like, try to eat it maybe once a week or something like that. And you go to places and spend some money on the fish and whatnot. Go someplace where they actually fishing, and you can find places where they farm raised fish, or they got places like we might even start something up like that. Where we do a fish club and whatnot, and here in New York and things like that for people who really care about what they putting in their body. Because the majority of the people, you can give them a bad diet because they just consume and they consume. They don't care what they put in their body. So.
Okay. Thank you so much.
No problem. All right.
Okay. Bye bye.
All right. 248. 248. You're on the line.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes, I had a question. Have you ever heard of the gluten? What does gluten-free mean? Can you explain that to me?
Gluten is a form of it's like gluten, damn near. It's like a vegetable type of I want to say it's like a starch. It's like something that comes out of a starch. Like from they might have they use it I think they use like a preserver or something like that. So they found out that it causes clogged up arteries and things like that, and causes health problems. So now they're saying a lot of things are gluten free, but it's like a starchy type, artificial, I think, preservative or something, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, because I've noticed that on a lot of items in the stores, and especially in Whole Foods, and it says gluten free, and I really didn't know what it meant. So I thought it was something good, but I really didn't understand what gluten free meant.
Yeah, it is good. I'm gonna show you something else too. If you notice, now
they saying on a lot of the products they putting out soy free, soy free, soy free. So okay, if you saying soy free now, what was happening 20 years ago when they was promoting soy as the next thing to make tofu out of? You know, this was the health community, was the so-called quote unquote vegetarian and vegan health community was saying that, you know, soy and tofu this, but now they seeing that soy and tofu is hurting the people and leaving tumors in people's bodies. Now all of a sudden they telling you, oh, they giving you products with no soy in it, none of this. So okay, so they telling you now soy's bad now.
Now I even heard that they say soy for men is not good. It says it lowers your testosterone and raises estrogen in a man's body. Is that true?
Yes, it is. Yes. Yep.
Yeah,
and it's not good for women too because it puts tumors in the women's breasts. You know, like I said, Dr. Sadie was saying it's harder to remove tumors from out of a woman who eats soy than a woman who eats pork or lamb or anything else. Because, like I said, those land animals, like I said, they're terrible to eat. Like I said, your lamb, your beef, and pork is not meant for consumption, and neither is soy.
Now, one more question. Now, I don't drink milk at all, but I do drink, like, almond milk and coconut milk. What do you think about that?
That's fine.
Okay.
But what we trying to do is we trying to produce our own almond and coconut milk. We're going to produce our own pumpkin seed milk in a minute, too, because, you know, a lot of times they throw certain things, and then you got to watch that. Because more and more, see, it's okay now because it's not being produced in mass because you got a lot of people still drinking cow milk. So the minute they start trying to really super mass produce it, watch out. Because that's when they're gonna start, you know, messing things up with it.
That's when the corporations get tied in, and then they just try to make money.
Oh yeah. They trying to mass produce it. That's when they're gonna start adding things to it. And let me tell you something. But the Africans love to drink cow's milk. So and notice black people, so-called black people, African Americans here, the majority of our people are lactose intolerant. So that proves that the Africans are not our people. You know?
I never thought of that.
Yeah, we like to. I mean, we drink milk. We can't drink no whole thing of milk. We'll be crapping all over ourselves. Ain't that true? We'll be crapping our pants. We can't drink, but the Africans drink milk like the white man. They'll drink a whole thing of milk. Cow milk. They'll drink whole cow milk, whole gilt milk, because they just like the white man.
Right.
You know.
That's what I can't do. Like homogenized milk.
Nah, you can't drink none of that.
Yeah, right. Tell you up.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
thanks again, brother.
No problem.
All right.
No problem. Bye-bye. All right. Let me see. 718-510. Mr. Minjaz.
Hey, what's up, Ben? What's going on, man?
Hey, what's going on? Mr. Isaac Minjaz.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. We're talking about the diet today, man. Oh yeah, him.
This man right here, this man I'm speaking to right here, he's becoming an expert on the diet. Mr. Isaac Minjaz, my personal assistant, brother and member of the state of Mentel. He's becoming a pretty good expert because the man's a chef and he prepares our bright alkaline iced tea. He prepares it. He's the chemist, I call him, like that puts together the herbs and the measurements and things like that. So, Mr. Isaac Minjaz.
Thank you.
What you got? You got a question?
Yeah, speaking of the iced tea, we have 3 herbs in there, which is the elderberry, the red clover, and lemongrass, which will help. You can use it for fasting, and it'll help cleanse out your system.
Yeah, good too.
You know, the elderberry and the elderberry is good for colds and flus, and the red clover will help people with their thyroid tumors. And lemongrass, I found out that people in Jamaica use it like to bring down fever. So it's 3 good key ingredients that's in the iced tea that people could use. I mean, it's not just a good drink to drink, but it also going to feed your cells as well.
Mhm.
You know.
Yeah.
And
right.
And speaking of the milk, hemp's another thing that our people should be consuming more, hemp milk, because it's good. It's a plant form of protein, and also if you mix it with sea moss, get some raw hemp seeds, and that is definitely a good milk to have.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely a good enough. Like I said, we're going to do the pumpkin seed milk. We come in with the pumpkin seed milk in a minute. Alkaline pumpkin seed milk from Bright Beverages, the alkaline pumpkin seed milk. Look out for it. Like I said, it's going to help the black man, and as far as keeping the prostate regular. I think it helps in fighting prostate cancer, because a lot of the reason why the black man get prostate cancer is because he lacks zinc in his diet. Pumpkin seeds are very rich in zinc. You know, a lot of the seeds and the things we eat. Notice the black man want to eat cashews and all kind of other stuff that really can't help in anything, but the black man won't eat nothing that will help him. You should be eating pumpkin seeds. I meant to tell that brother who called in talking about eating nuts, and when you need to be eating seeds. Certain seeds is what you need to be eating, not no nuts and things like that, because the nuts are too acidic. You need to be eating pumpkin seeds. Pumpkin seeds.
But like,
almonds are okay, but they're okay, but the pumpkin seeds, things that are rich in zinc, so that the black man can stop getting damn prostate cancer, and helping, aiding against that.
Right. No, I see what you mean. Yeah, the pumpkins is definitely a plus for the prostate. And family, I should try this grain. It's called amaranth, which is a part of the cataloo plant. You can make some fantastic grits with this grain.
Yeah. It's all kind of things. Our people, like I said, just go with anything, and that seems to be a staple with the black man and the black woman. They go with anything the white man say. And say he tell you to eat pork and beef and all that's okay to eat, and hot dogs. And these Negroes eat pork and beef, and when the next thing you know, they all swollen up and they got high blood pressure and they got tumors in their breasts and all kind of, you know. Then the Negroes go, now he's telling you to be a vegan and a vegetarian and whatnot. Now you turn around, now you black women getting, you vegan, vegetarian black women, so-called black women, now you got tumors in your breast from eating the soy. I mean, and you trying to figure out where that's coming from. Because, like I said, for some strange reason, I never see like these vegans and these vegetarians. I always notice these so-called natural hippie black people who eat this vegan and vegetarian diet. They always smoke weed. They always drink. How the hell you going to tell me to eat healthy and you smoking weed and drinking and smoking cigarettes? But you talking you a vegetarian
and drink soda and beer too. So
and soda and beer too, right? You know why? Because I said, they always they do that because they're trying to feed that fire in their chest, because like I said, once they take that out their diet, that fire or that acid in their stomach is looking to consume something or burn. So like I said, they get high, they get drunk and whatnot. So because like they eating that bland ass diet that they got from the white man, trying to sprinkle damn soy sauce on a hard ass
soy's a killer, man.
On hard cauliflower and talking about it tastes good. Please, it tastes like damn paper.
See, the thing about the soy is people got to understand, all these vegetarians listening, tofu that will rob your body of moisture and oxygen in your body. So if you consume that for a long period of time, you're gonna have a lot of problems later on in life. That tofu is worse than eating meat.
Yeah, well, you can't tell these Negroes nothing. They, like I said, they want to eat all this garbage and whatnot. Like I said, listen to the guy here. He sat up here, Dick Gregory. He sat up here to call Elijah Muhammad all kind of names, call him a pimp and all this other stuff. Elijah Muhammad didn't have no cancer. He sat up here and disrespected Elijah Muhammad. Elijah Muhammad, even though, like I said, he said eat one meal a day. I'm not saying the Nation of Islam diet was the best, because even Dr. Sebi said, Elijah Muhammad was saying that, there's a lot of things we shouldn't be eating, like the beef and stuff like that. But, they didn't know no better at the time. So he just said, because we not knowing what we really supposed to be eating, we should only be really eating one meal a day,
Yeah.
And then
the biggest thing with the confusion is about the whole vegetarian thing. Oh, I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, I said them beans are navy beans. Like I said, I agree with Dr. Sebi on that. The only bean, the pea to eat is the chickpea. All the rest of them beans, them navy beans, the black-eyed peas, black beans, none of that stuff is good for you. It's too acidic, man. It causes a lot of acid in your stomach.
The thing about beans is, like nitrogen is going against our carbon-based makeup. So, and that's what you find in all beans is nitrogen, especially the soy. And the soy's in everything now. The bread,
even in the lentils, even in those lentils, is nitrogen in that. It give you gas. That's why you be farting up a storm. Our people be walking around gassy and whatnot. If you walking around smelling like that, it's obvious you're not supposed to be eating that.
Yeah, lentils too. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. But the problem is, what happens is, I think some of the people, a lot of people that's getting into the vegan thing, I think they just trying to do the best with it. They trying to change something because they seen like our people getting all these diseases from, the beef and all the stuff. So I guess they're trying to change something, but it's like they still missing something in their body. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the thing is, a lot of them don't really promote. A lot of us don't understand about we're carbon-based people, so we have to consume more carbon-based substance. And a lot of those vegetables that they're eating, like carrots and beets and all this other stuff, all that stuff is nowhere near carbon.
No, it's artificial. Hey, it's artificial crap. So that's all. But let me take this other call, brother.
All right.
You got any other questions or comments?
Just continue the rest of the broadcast.
You good? All right. Isaac Minjaz, thank you, brother. All right. 914, you on the air?
Hello?
Yes, 914.
Yeah, it's Cartel.
Brother Cartel Minquez, another brother member of the state of Mintel. What's going on, brother?
Marsh, I just wanted to ask, what is organic? Everything is organic form. So what is organic?
You got to speak up. I can't hear you.
Hello?
Can
you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. I wanted to ask, what is organic? Because I'm starting to see organic everywhere. They even have organic milk, which, kind of doesn't make sense to me. So exactly what is organic?
Organic is just another word they're trying to say that's natural. It's another word for natural. Organic. You know what I mean? That it comes from a living organism. You know what I mean? That it's natural.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all organic mean.
But they got organic everything.
Yeah, they're trying to. You know what? They're trying to say that because now the FDA, they allow you to put organic on every damn thing and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people bought the right to put organic on when a lot of that stuff is not organic. It's just saying that because people can pay for an organic seal on their stuff and whatnot. As long as they don't have enough, they don't put too much in one thing or artificial put too much in another thing. They're allowed to put organic on the stuff now. But a lot of that stuff, don't be fooled by. A lot of that stuff is not organic.
Yeah.
A lot of that stuff is not organic at all. So, all right.
All right. Thank you. That's all I want to say.
No problem. Thank you. All right. So, the diet is, like I said, it's a very funny thing. Like I said, our people have to know what it is that we, what our bodies crave naturally. You know what I mean? We don't, like I said, if a lot of our people are craving the beef and they're craving the land animals, that's a sign a lot of times that's the African. And some of our people got that African blood in them and whatnot of that. For those people in the primitive Africans, because they're the ones that like to eat the cow and the beef. They love blood and starch, like Dr. said. He said they like to eat the cow and things like that. And some of them eat pork, even though, like I said, but some of them, like for example, the guy, you could tell he was a real African, Dr. Ben. Right, he ate pork and beef and all. Pretty much, he didn't really care how much what he ate in his diet. You could look and tell. That's why he's sick now. That's why he's sick. But a lot of people eat like Africans. They eat like that beef and that stuff and whatnot. And we're not Africans. We are those ancient Nubian people. The majority of our people, we are the ancient Nubian people, and we're used to eating things like fish and birds and things like that. They had certain quail and things like that they ate back then. So it's natural when we saw the chicken, we tended to eat the chicken, even though the chicken was hybrid or it was bred by the Chinese, right, to be a domesticated bird, because when they were eating chicken or they were eating birds, the birds would fly off all over the place and would bring back bird disease or bird flu. So they had to domesticate the bird or cage it, and that's where the chicken came from. It's a domesticated bird. It's pinned into a cage and it's made to eat. A lot of these people sit up here and say, you don't respect the animal life because, the animal has a soul and it's a living soul and this, that, and the third and blah, blah, blah. And, that's a human mentality. But I say our people, the so-called black race, we're not part of the human race. We're part of a whole other species of people. We don't look like the humans. We don't have straight hair like the humans. We don't have the same complexion as the humans. We are a totally different race of being, or a different species of being, who I refer to as the almond race. We're not part of the human race. We are the almond race or the omni race. We're not part of the created race of people here. You understand? All except for the Africans, which I'll get on and talk about that another time. I'm going to break all of that down because we were going back and forth, too, about the African versus the Nubian thing and the fact that our people, the majority of the so-called black people here in America are not African, right? We're a totally different
nationality and identity of people from the Middle East, actually, right? And in the East, we ate things like fish and birds and onions and greens. We ate those. Those were the things that were native to those regions, right? Somebody brought cows in. I mean, I had to make pigs and stuff like that. All that stuff was brought in from other places, all those foods. And like I said, we got introduced to these bad diets, this starch, when we went amongst the Africans. When we moved in with the Africans, that's when we started eating the potatoes, the sweet potato and the starches and things like that ended up getting called soul food. We started eating that bad diet when we moved in amongst the Africans. When we left out of Egypt and we made that exodus out of Egypt and the Romans and all them chased us out, and we went into Africa amongst the Africans, right? A lot of our people went in there or went to different islands because our people were traveling all over the world. But like I said, we were always next to water. Like I said, and we were the first fishermen. We were the first people fishing. You understand? We were the first people cooking our food, right? We was the first people utilizing fire instruments and whatnot, and we ate a diet that was small and conducive to our well-being and our living. Now you notice when the black man got here in America, he started eating all kinds of heavy food. Like I said, what is it? Sweet potato. What is it? What is that? What is it? The pork and the beef and the lamb and the collard greens and the goat, and the damn black man started eating goat, and he started eating damn sweet potatoes and all this other madness he started eating. So his diet got heavier. He started eating like an animal. I mean, instead of eating like an almond bean, because we ate light. Like I said, our diets were simple. We had greens and fish. Our diets were simple. We had greens and fish, or we had some bird or whatever bird or whatever here and there, but we basically was eating fish and greens. That's it. That's it. There was never no time where we was no vegetarians and we was eating. That's a lie. There was never no time where our people was eating just vegetables. Right? There was never no time. Hell, you can't find enough vegetables to eat in the so-called vegetarian diet. That's why they had to start making up things like tofu and stuff like that to fill out the vegan and vegetarian diet. They had to start making that stuff up. They had to start creating tofu and all kinds of starch to add into the vegan diet. Now, here's the thing. If you're saying you're a vegetarian, that means you should just be eating vegetables. What are you doing eating starches? What are you doing eating rice? What are you doing eating beans and stuff? You shouldn't be eating that stuff. You eating starches to try to fill out the fact that you no longer eat meat. Right? Like I said, these people sit up here. Like I said, these people sit up here from the so-called moral issue of you taking an animal life. Or like I said, these are reptiles, not animals. Number one, they don't use the bathroom like animals. Right? They don't do the same. They don't have the same structural makeup as the animals. They're totally different. Right? Like I said, the people who sitting here, if you say, okay, well, it's not right to eat the animals or whatever you claim that you got this mindset of, but what about the plant life? Plants have life. You don't think nothing about ripping a plant out the ground and throwing it on the plate. You don't think about the soul of the plant, or the spirit of the plant. For you spiritual people, you don't think about the spirit of the plant. Right, the plant life don't mean nothing just because it don't got no heart, or it ain't making no noise, or it ain't walking around, so the plant ain't got no life. Then you justify saying, it's here so you can eat. So, okay, whatever. We'll be right back. A lot of people were hating on Dr. Sebi. A lot of these so-called healers and dietitians and nutritionists were hating on Dr. Sebi when he started outlining all of these artificial hybrid vegetables and things that our people in the so-called vegan and vegetarian diets who were consuming in the vegan and vegetarian diet. And when he said, he even admitted himself he had endorsed these things, but he was following and he was honest, and that's what I like about Dr. Sebi. He was honest enough to admit that he was following the mentality of these white nutritionists, or following the teachings of these white nutritionists, until he branched out on his own and did his own research and studying and whatnot. He's seen the things that we're hurting our people are actually tearing our people apart. So we in the state of Mentel, like I said, we carry our own diet, and a lot of it's based heavily on Dr. Sebi's teaching and whatnot. And like I said, one of the things we do not eat any fried food. None. No fried food, right? We recommend spelt bread. If you're going to eat spelt bread. Bread is small, and spelt is a alkaline grain, right? Eat spelt grain. Wheat and white bread and all that's garbage, right? Spelt, amaranth, these are good things, bread and whatnot. And the beautiful thing about it, they're not produced in massive numbers, so it's less of a chance of GMOs, right, genetically modified organisms in your food, because they usually do that. They usually use the GMOs when they have to mass produce something, when your corporations get involved. So eat the things that are less corporate. That's why we cutting out chicken, or we pretty much cut chicken out in the state of Intel, because it's too mass produced. I want to get on to the thing of eating ostrich. It's not very mass produced. It's very good in protein. I want to try ostrich as a replacement bird. I ate quail, but here and there. I don't really like the quail, but the ostrich, it's farm-raised ostrich, right? Fish, your salmon. It's good. Try to get it farm-raised. Because you shouldn't really be consuming too much of this anyway, unless you get a good source. It's always good to eat, if you're going to eat it, maybe once a week or something like that. Turkey's fine too. Duck is too greasy, but it's very high alkaline. What you say? Yeah, it's oily. It's kind of oily, but it's very high in it's high in alkalinity. We should be trying to find out and eat diets that are high in alkaline, because we already have a natural acidic level in our stomachs to digest the food. So we already have a natural acid in our stomachs. Onions, yellow onions are good, and sauteing things. We should be eating our things we're going to eat. We need to eat grilled things, not fried foods, right? For those of you who are still eating the chicken, if you're going to eat chicken, try to get the best chicken you can get and eat the breast. Just the breast. Don't get the hood chicken. Don't get the hood chicken and the stuff from the supermarkets in the black neighborhoods, because a lot of that stuff is old, and they send the old food over and they just give y'all anything. Right? Stop eating the beans. The only good pea is the chickpea. No beans, and the rice. The only good rice to eat is the wild rice, like Dr. Sebi said. Because we tried and we put the black rice, because people were saying black rice, but we put the black rice in water, turned up, and it turned the water black. All right? So that's an artificial form of rice, especially the white rice. It's terrible. Stop with the potatoes. Stop with all the starch and the sweet potatoes and the candy yams, all that garbage, right? Because it's nothing but sugar and starch. Like I said, the Africans, we started eating that garbage when we was amongst the Africans, right? So we are those new people now, or we've always been those new people coming into our own new identity, right? And we are advancing. And as we are advancing in our intelligence and knowing who we are, we should know what we should be knowing exactly what it is we're putting in our bodies, and our diet should be getting smaller. Our diet should be getting smaller. It should be going back to how we used to eat, which is small meals, small plate of greens, right? Like your callaloo or something like that, right? Maybe a piece of fish, right? No tilapia, no catfish, no tuna, like a small piece of salmon, farm raised or from a stream or wherever, wherever you can find it at, right? Greens, like I said, callaloo is the best. Kale is good. So, wild rice here and there. Some wild rice. Right? If you can get your hands on these things, so your list should get smaller, right? Dr. Sebi has a wonderful sea moss. Look up Dr. Sebi, SEBI. Dr. Sebi, like I said, he has a wonderful sea moss that has 102 minerals in it. I get it all the time. I recommend it highly. We put it in our pumpkin seed milk, and we make a good milk out of it, and milkshake and things like that. Man, that stuff is alive. The organisms are alive. So go check out Dr. Sebi, on the sea moss. Plus, he has a lot of other good products that he's making. Man's a hell of a nutritionist. All right, stop with the iceberg lettuce and the salads and stuff like that, and small tomatoes, not the big tomatoes, because a lot of those tomatoes, especially tomatoes, are hybrid. Right? Cut out the fruits. The fruits are nothing but sugar. I mean, me myself, I like kiwi fruit. That's the only fruit I allow myself to eat. I don't eat anything other. I don't eat nothing else other than kiwi fruit. I don't eat oranges and apples and all that stuff because it's really nothing but sugar. All right, it's nothing but sugar. You know, they can call it natural sugar all they want to, but it's really no nutritional value in it. They say it is, but there's no nutritional value in that. You know, and as far as vitamin C goes and whatnot, you know, you have to eat a whole lot of oranges to get the vitamin C out of that. So, you know. The elderberries and things like that, and like I said, pumpkin seeds for you brothers. Stop with the peanuts and the damn. You're not a bunch of monkeys, right? Stop with the peanuts and the walnuts and all this other stuff because it's too acidic and it's gassy, right? Stop with the. I said again, stop with the fried foods because you end up getting your gallbladder ripped out of your body because your body can't produce, can't take that fried food stuff. You can't take the fried food. Right. Drink plenty of water, preferably alkaline water. Try to get it. We trying to get that amongst our people and whatnot, so we can eat better and drink better water. The whole thing is constantly about purifying or filtering the water because there's a lot of garbage in the water. There's a lot of garbage here, but one of the things we could do is we can try to keep our environment and what we put in our body clean. Like I said, we're not going to be 100% perfect, but like I said, we have to make our diet smaller again. Like I said, do away with certain things. That vegetarian and vegan diet is not for us. Right? The vegetarian and vegan diet is not for us because, like I said, the majority of that stuff they push into you is nothing but high-bred artificial food. Right? Cauliflower, carrots, beets are no good for us. And stop with the garlic. Stop with the garlic. That is straight poison. Stop with the garlic. Right? That's not for our consumption. Right? All these what is it? Whatever they making these soups out in, these lentils and all this other nonsense. The lentil. That's all acidic and gassy. It's not good for us. Okay. Not doing anything for us. They tell us, as long as you're not eating meat, you could eat, these things and whatnot. They're trying to make a diet. And to the brother who said that, you thought monkeys eat meat. Some monkeys do eat meat, but it's very rare that they do. A lot of them, they eat vegetables. They were forced to start eating meat because a lot of their vegetables, and that's another thing, a lot of their vegetables were being taken from them and their environment. So they started eating meat. Right? That's another thing that happened when they get these vegetables from other countries and stuff, and they send them away for these vegetables. They're taken from the food source of animals to feed you. Right? They're taken from the food source of animals to feed you. Pay attention to that. All right? All of the, like I said, all those things, like those fruits and things like that, a lot of those fruits are for animals. Right? A lot of the fruit is for animals. The kiwi is rich in vitamin C. That's pretty much all you need. It's pretty rich in vitamin C. All the other stuff, you don't really need that. All right? So, oatmeal is okay, but I suggest it's really not for your, great for your consumption and whatnot. It's okay if here and there, but I wouldn't suggest it. There's a, there's a spelt oatmeal, I believe. It's a spelt meal or spelt oatmeal. I suggest you get that and learn to start making oatmeal spelt meal out of that. You can get it from Whole Foods. It's a spelt flake type of spelt meal. They call it, I guess, a spelt meal. You should make cereals out of that. All right? All right? You should make cereals out of the spelt. There's like the brother was saying, Mr. Minjaz was saying, that there's an amaranth that makes a good grit. It's good for grits and things like that. Our people should be going in and starting to become more, more creative in making things and whatnot and producing things for ourselves to eat because we are building on the Mentalian diet. Yeah, garlic is no good at all. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and answer these questions before I get out of here. It's been a good night. We didn't get no knuckleheads, which is always good. You know, like I said, I know I was going to piss off a few vegans and vegetarians and whatnot. Don't worry, y'all. I told you we don't eat no land animals. We're not eating the cow. We're not eating the pig. We're not going to eat the lamb or the goat or the sheep. We don't eat that. We don't eat land animals. All right, in the state of mental, we don't. Mentalists don't eat land animals. You know, though sometimes we might get a little piece of bison here and there. That's a specialized meat, right? Very rich in protein, but that's on special certain occasions. So here we go. Are black people really supposed to be vegans and vegetarians? No, we are not. You know, simply because the vegan and vegetarian diet is based on artificial food sources, hybrid plants and hybrid vegetables, cauliflower, carrots, beets, what else? The so-called vegetarian beans. And like I said, they're not even really eating vegetarian. They eat starches and things like that. All these are hybrid things that they're trying to push into the diet to produce an artificial mentality in our people, and it's working. You notice that all these foods are artificial. They are hybrids, right? All this vegan nonsense. And then here go Erykah Badu. I put her in the news feed. That ain't funny. Now here's Erykah Badu. Well, her, you know, talking all the blackness and whatnot. She's talking about I eat vegan. And what she got on the T-shirt? If you look at it, it has PETA on the bottom of the T-shirt. The very people that are pushing the vegan diet, like I said in the beginning. I didn't even pay attention to her shirt, so I looked at the feed. Bite me, I'm vegan, PETA. She's wearing that shirt. Yeah, see, from the white man. There you go. Black power. Yeah, right. Why are these diets being pushed so heavily today? Like I said, to produce an artificial, flighty mentality in our people, right? Because they've been pushing these diets. Like I said, the white man been telling you Negroes what to eat since a lot of y'all got off them slave ships from the worst food. Now he's continuing on with the vegan and vegetarian diet, getting you to stop eating naturally the things that we're supposed to be eating, and to get us eating artificial hybrid vegetables and starches and things like that, which is what you vegetarians and vegans eating today, right? And trying to put some salt and some soy on it. Meanwhile, you smoking weed, or you drinking liquor and whatnot, because you trying to offset that burning desire to consume something else, consume those reptiles, or consume that protein that you want, right? Are black people supposed to eat animals? No, we are not. No, we're not supposed to eat animals. We're supposed to eat reptiles. Sea reptiles, meaning your fish, and air reptiles, meaning your birds. That's what we're supposed to eat. Not animals, not land animals, not beef, not pork, not lamb, not goat. We're not supposed to eat any of that garbage because they're too big to digest, and it's for the other animals to eat. We're not animals. The humans eat that because they're a form of animal, right? And the ones who eat the vegetables and the vegan diet, like I said, that's another form of animal thing, because a lot of your animals eat those artificial vegetables. Right? Is every vegetable natural or artificial? Is every vegetable natural or artificial? Some vegetables are natural, some are artificial. The majority of the vegetables that they're pushing in this big diet that they're just trying to fill people up on is artificial. All the things I named are artificial. Artificial beans, artificial vegetables, all that. Right? All artificial. We need to eat the natural things. Like I said, your greens, your chickpea, your pumpkin seeds, right? Water, of course. Need water, definitely. So keep us, and run. Yeah, we're going to start a Bright Run Club. We're going to start a State of Mentel's Bright Runners Club. We're starting that, all right? Pushed by the State of Mentel and by Bright Beverages, Bright BBC, right, our company. So we want to get brothers and sisters running, jogging, all right? We're going to be pushing that soon. Look for it in the summer 2013. We're trying to get it going earlier than that, but that's something we're undertaking. What is the correct and natural diet for our people in the future? Like I said, greens, reptiles, air reptiles, your fish, right, your birds. Try your ostrich, right? Never tried it, but I'm going to try it out. Try your ostrich. Try your fish, your salmon, right? Stay with your greens, your callaloo, your kale, you know. Stay with things like that, our diet's supposed to become smaller in order for us to become faster and sped up. Okay? So, all right, that's it. I'm going to be dealing with this. I might deal with this African and Nubian thing because when I brought it up again, I said a lot of people didn't understand it, so I might be doing a broadcast on it Sunday. So pay attention to that. I should be doing a broadcast on it Sunday because I want to get this African and Nubian thing separated. The Anu people from the Middle East, which is our people, and the Africans in the West, which is your Matumbo Bays and your Barack Obamas and your Manute Bowles. Those are your Africans. That's not our people. So I might discuss that on Sunday. All right, that's it. Join us April 28th for the State of Mintel's Black Evolution Conference here in Brooklyn, New York, 1368 Fulton Street. 1368 Fulton Street, Sunday, April 28th. Join us for the State of Mintel's Black Evolution Project. You can give us a call at 347-350-6770. All right? Suggest a call out on the weekend. So that's about it. What I want to close out with? I had something in mind, too. Yeah. All right. I see that. I think I'm going to close out with Bridges. It's been a beautiful night. Yeah, I think I am going to do that. Like I said, I got a lot of people who are making wise comments about differentiating Manute Bol and the Africans. Like I said, even the Africans' diet is different from ours. So you already know we different people. The Africans tend to be B blood type. Our people here in the East, who came from the East, we O types. So it's gonna come. It's gonna come. All right. So I am the intellectual Nuben Menkarayzz. This has been State of Mintel Radio. Join us Sunday. We might be doing a broadcast about the African/Nubian thing, the difference between the so-called African Americans and Africans. Good night.
It's the Republic of Mentellect, rising out the black race to the white race, out the black race to the white race. It's the Republic of Mentellect, black race to the white race. If it's hell, and then it's hell us. They tried everything just to spell us. Fed us religion, gave us fake gods. Through all of that, we beat the odds. Now we coming together under one flag. Colors red, gold, and blue. Superman, Superwoman, that's me and you. The infinite capabilities that